Okay, we're back to continue our lesson on logarithm functions. Now we're going to be dealing with derivatives, but we're going to split it into two parts, and this is part one. So the derivative of a natural logarithm function, okay, is going to be involving the chain rule. And so we're given this is what they give us as the definitions of derivative for logarithm. We have the derivative of the natural log of x is equal to 1 divided by x. Okay, that's a given. And then we have, okay, so if we were to substitute u in for, we take u and we substitute something in for u to make it a bit simplified for us to solve. So we take the derivative of natural log of u would be 1 divided by u, but then we would have to multiply it by the derivative of u as well. Okay, so these examples will be much more explanatory than I could just explain it. Okay, so we have f of x is equal to the natural log of 5x. So we have to find the derivative. So we're going to let u be equal to 5x. Okay, and I know I'm going to need a derivative of u. So the derivative of u is just 5. Okay, so when I'm finding the derivative, I know it's going to be 1 over u, which is 5x, times the derivative, which was 5. Okay, so when I multiply them, I get 5 over 5x, which is equal to 1 over x as our answer. Okay, the next one. So for this one, we're going to be using the chain rule, this one product rule, and this one quotient rule. So let's do this first one. So we have the function is equal to natural log of x squared minus 4. So u is going to equal the x squared minus 4. Derivative of u is 2x. Okay, so with the function, derivative, right, of the function, we know it's 1 over our u, 1 over x squared minus 4, times the derivative is 2x. When I multiply these, I get 2x over x squared minus 4. Okay, and then I'm going to see, can I simplify this? And no, so we're just going to leave this as our derivative. Okay, the next one is the product rule. So we have the function is equal to x squared times the natural log of x. So what I'm going to do with this one is use the product rule. So I'm going to derivative of the function. Okay, product rule says we do the derivative of the first term. So the derivative of x squared is 2x. And then we keep the natural log of x. Okay, plus we keep x squared now, and now we find the derivative of natural log of x. Remember that the natural log of x, the derivative of that was 1 over x. Okay, so now when we simplify, I would have, let's see, these are being multiplied, so 2x ln x, right? I have x squared times 1 divided by x, which is x squared divided by x, which that can be simplified as well. So I have the derivative is equal to 2x times the natural log of x, and I know x squared divided by x is just x. Okay, now I'm looking to see, is there anything in common that I can simplify? So I look, and there's two separate terms, and they're separated by the plus sign. So they both have an x in common, so I can pull an x out. And I'm left with 2 natural log of x plus 1. Okay, and that's its simplified form, so this is our derivative. Okay? The quotient rule is a little trickier just because we have that division part into it. So, the derivative, right? I'm going to start with the bottom term as my f of x, right? So I keep that one, x squared. I find the derivative of negative natural log of x. So I know that the natural log of x derivative was 1 over x, right? But it's negative, so I have negative and then 1 over x. Okay, and these are being multiplied together. Okay, and then when it's the quotient rule, we have a subtraction sign. We we're going to multiply by the derivative of x squared, which is 2x, times that by what we have before, which is the negative ln x, natural log of x. All of that divided by the bottom term, x squared squared. Okay, so I'm given x squared times the negative 1 over x would give me negative x squared over x, which would be negative x. So let me just negative square over x, right? Minus, and all this is going to be over x to the fourth. Okay? When I distribute this negative, right, this becomes minus 2x. Whoa. Let's see, I would have minus, and then when I distribute, it would be minus 2x ln x when I multiply these two together, right? So then this is going to become positive. So then I have negative x plus 2x natural log of x over x to the fourth when I simplify. Okay, and then I have something in common. I can pull an x out up top. So I have x, and then I have negative 1 left over from the negative x. And then when I pull the x out of here, I have plus 2 natural log of x over x to the fourth. Now I still can cancel out an x. So my answer is negative 1 plus 2 natural log of x over x to the third power. That would be my answer. So this one's a bit trickier, just follow it step by step. So feel free to pause the video and copy everything down and replay the video as many times as you need. Okay? 2 more questions. So number 3, find the derivative of the function of f of x is equal to the natural log of x, the square root of x plus 1. So I can rewrite this as the natural log of x plus 1 to the half power. Right, and then I know that I move the half in front, natural log of x plus 1. Okay, so I'm finding the derivative of this. Okay, u is going to represent, I can use the chain rule, x plus 1, and the derivative of x plus 1 is just 1. Okay, so when I find the derivative, I have f of x. Okay, and when it comes to a constant, you keep the constant. So the half stays, okay? And the derivative of the natural log of x plus 1, right, is just 1 over u. So 1 over x plus 1 times the derivative of u, which is 1. Okay, so when I simplify all of this together, I would get a half times 1 over x plus 1, which is the same thing as saying a half times the x plus 1 up top when you multiply straight across. So ignore that, it's 1 over 2 times x plus 1. That's our derivative. Last one, we have the function is equal to the natural log of x squared times the square root of x squared plus 1, and we have to find the derivative. So I can rewrite this using my natural log properties, logarithmic properties. So I have ln x squared plus the natural log of x squared plus 1. And I know I can rewrite that. So natural log of x squared plus natural log of x squared plus 1 to the half. Okay. Okay, so then I can rewrite that to ln x plus a half of the natural log of x squared plus 1. Okay, now we're going to be finding the derivative. So, I know the derivative of ln x is 1 over x, right? Then I have the half times 1 over x squared plus 1. Okay, and we would multiply with the chain rule by the derivative of the inside. This one would be by the derivative of 1, because the derivative of x is 1. Okay, and then this one would be 2x. Okay, so let's see. This is the derivative started. Okay, so we multiply this across, so this is just 2 over x plus a half times 2x over x squared plus 1. So we have 2 over x plus 2x over 2 times x squared plus 1. The 2's can cancel out. So I'm left with 2 over x plus x over x squared plus 1. And we would be done here. So the derivative is equal to 2 over x plus x over x squared plus 1. Okay?